like I had this all figured out. I've had my anxiety under control for a while now. Why is it coming back? Why am I feeling out of control again? Why am I getting these weird physical sensations? Why am I completely losing my mind? And that hit me because I was just like, I'm a perfectionist. So yeah, it anchored me. I felt like I was like, I've done the work. I've had the tools.
Welcome back to another episode of Till the Wheels Fall Off. I am Matt.
I'm Paige.
Stress spiral. Oh my God, are we in it?
A little bit.
Stress, man, can really screw you up. This is a relevant topic, not just for people who have chaotic relationships, but for anyone that's just trying to hold it together. And I feel like this is as fitting, timely an episode as we've ever done because we are both struggling right now. I hate that some people get the impression that we've got everything figured out because we don't.
Nope.
My God, man. Here in the last month, 2 months, life has just thrown us curveball after curveball and we respond as best we can. But after some time, you just feel like it's breaking you down. And so stress has absolutely hijacked our brains and our ability to really function, it feels like. And it's gotten overwhelming. We've had some really difficult conversations and some really, really tough days. And you probably have too. So we're going to talk about stress, its effects on the brain, and how to get away from that. What can we do about it? You're probably sitting here nodding your head saying, yeah, I feel that way. But what do we do? We're going to get to that. But we're also going to talk about some of the effects on the brain long term and how stress is really bad for you. I was reading a study earlier, talked about the effects of smoking, diabetes, and stress. Okay, arguably stress is just as bad as these other things, but smoking is probably the worst. I think it takes off on average 6.8 years of your life. But stress does about 3 years taken from your life because of chronic stress.
And if you really want to think about it, I think it takes a lot more from your life because honestly, when I'm in stress mode or when I'm like this, I don't remember shit.
That's the problem, right?
Right. So if you think about it, like it's taken a lot of your life,
It takes years, actual physical, like years from your life, but it also takes the enjoyment out of those years that you do have.
Right. And you might not even remember those years. So yeah. All right, let's go.
All right. Hey, getting it started with SoberLink. If you don't know what SoberLink is by now, what are you doing? SoberLink is our sponsor, and they are the creators of the SoberLink device. It is not just a breathalyzer. I hate even just saying it's just a breathalyzer because it's not. It's so much more than that. It is the ultimate accountability device. If you are someone trying to rebuild trust in a relationship, there is no better way to do that. Change behaviors, 1. 2, SoberLink. If you're really trying to show people around you that you're serious about your drinking, get them on your SoberLink. You can actually sign up contacts. This could be a spouse or partner or supportive friend that understands your sobriety journey, or it could even be your therapist or your sponsor, whoever you want involved in your accountability circle. SoberLink gives them notifications every time you use the device, and they will know you're doing the deal. That's really, really reassuring for your family members, your friends, whoever it is and who's in your circle rooting with you. They get a notification, hey, so-and-so, free and clear. They know that you're doing the deal. So if you're someone who has said it's going to be different this time, my question is always, well, what makes it different? Let SoberLink make it different. SoberLink can also be really useful if you're someone who is in the midst of a custody battle. If you're not 100% trustworthy or certain about your kids going somewhere where they're going to be safe and they're going to be around a sober adult, SoberLink can give you that peace of mind. It is court admissible in all 50 states and in Canada, trusted by over 200,000 clients. It is considered the gold standard in court. Courts are very familiar with this, judges, lawyers, everyone. You can get these things written into your agreements. So whether you're trying to rebuild trust or you are at the point where you just need to make sure that you've got a safe place for your kids to be, SoberLink can be there for you. They've got a standby team 24 hours a day to review the data as well. Actual humans reviewing the data, not just some machine that interprets it and spits out a result. No, they know the difference between someone who's got on cologne or something like that. They will ask you to retest. They know if there's an anomaly of some kind. You're not going to find any other company that does this. They care. They care about their work. They care about providing the best data possible. The device has military-grade facial recognition technology, so you can also trust the person using that device is supposed to be using that device. You cannot tamper with this thing. You cannot get around it. If you have thought of some creative way you can, guess what? SoberLink's already thought about it. If this sounds like something you might be interested in, head over to soberlink.com/wheels, where you can get 50% off a device. Enter your email address in. They will send you a coupon, a voucher code, and you can get 50% off, which right now is huge. Again, that's soberlink.com/wheels. And thank you to SoberLink. I'm surprised I remembered that, all of that.
I know.
With my brain, the way it's been this
bad.
last couple of weeks. Man, I'm just going to be real with everybody. I've been struggling, and I know that Paige has been too. Been under an immense amount of stress. A lot of it's around my career and work and things like that, but it's also this juggling act that we do every single week between being here and providing people content and being the voice for so many people that have felt like they've been silenced for a very, very long time, producing multiple episodes per week, writing, keeping an eye on our community, which we fiercely protect to make sure that remains a safe place, coming up with ideas for content. We have kids that are really involved in activities. We're working 2 or 3 jobs in a given day and trying to be good parents and then trying to find some time for ourselves too. And it's not to complain. Listen, I prayed for problems like this at one time in my life. I'm grateful for the problems I have, but it doesn't mean it's not overwhelming. I know that you feel the same way.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's been crazy. And what's really crazy is that like we went on vacation and then I came home super refreshed and felt really good. And then I was doing okay that week. And then all of a sudden it just like, bam, hit me. Like, I don't know if it's months of stuff that just hit me or what, but I've just been extremely overwhelmed this week. More overwhelmed than I typically am. And I've had stress moments. We all do. It's part of life. But this one has been really challenging to actually like get out of. And I've had a lot of like you said, like I can't remember things. I can't focus. I'm snapping on my family members. I've been crying. Like I would cry randomly, especially yesterday. Like I cried like 3 or 4 times. I don't do that. Like that's not typical for me. But I just know that it's my body telling me that like something has to change. You need to do something within your life that needs to change.
Yeah, I've been walking around, but those are your symptoms. I've been walking around literally telling Paige almost on a daily basis, like, I feel like I have early onset dementia or something.
Yeah, we're not remembering anything.
It's insane. And then the stress of what I'm supposed to do is weighing on me really heavily, but it feels like I'm paralyzed and I can't take action on it, even though I know that's the thing that's going to make some of this fade anyway. But it's just every day feels like absolute survival mode. I haven't felt like this in a very, very long time. You actually called me today worried about my behaviors. Like you're acting like the way that you used to, and it's concerning to me. What was I doing exactly? I can't remember now.
You were very short and snippy towards some people or some things. And you like randomly took my car to get it traded in or something. And yeah. I thought that was a little weird because it wasn't like
sort of like impulsive behavior.
It was impulsive. Like. Yes. And those impulsive behaviors, like it's kind of it's not like a trigger, but it's something that I'm aware of. It's something that I think, especially in this area that we work in, I'm very hyper focused. I can recognize things differently than I used to.
Some of that's probably like programmed hypervigilance too.
Yeah, it is. It's a little bit of that as well. But you were doing something and it just felt really weird. It just felt like, are you okay? Like, what's going on?
The answer is no, I'm not okay, by the way.
Right.
No.
And so here's another thing that's really different with this week and why we're kind of discussing this too, is that within our relationship and our dynamics and how we typically function is that when one person is struggling, the other person typically is not struggling that bad. And they're able to lift the other person up, be there for them, be this like safe space for them and help them, just let them know that they're okay, or they take on extra. They're able to take on extra kid stuff or house stuff or whatever. This time we're both like in it.
We're both in the pit.
We're both struggling. So it's been challenging to have conversations surrounding it because first of all, we're like really quick to like be angry anyway. Like, so if something is brought up, we're very defensive. Like we're going to be like, we're not as open as we typically would be.
You keep saying we here. I feel like I've been pretty receptive to the critique. Oh, look how mad you are right now. You were like, about to press pause and
This is
just
not
come
the time.
after me.
Okay, I've been a lot more snappy than he has. That's true. I've been worse than you. Yes, I know that.
It's not a contest. I'm just trying to make a joke. I'm sorry. Failed joke. Sorry.
But I feel like it's been complicated and difficult to have conversations surrounding this because we're both struggling and we feel like, oh, I can't give you this information and let you know that I'm struggling because I know that you're struggling. And then I don't want you to have to struggle more if you feel like you need to pick me up or whatnot. But I feel like this is a turn for us. And I think that this is like a lesson for us. Are you listening?
I'm absolutely listening. This dog won't sit still. I'm trying to get her to go away. She's like jumping on me. Totally listening. This is what life has been like lately, y'all.
So I almost feel like whenever we first started this podcast, whenever we were like, we fought in the background. Like we restarted our podcast a lot. We have not done that in a long time. Anyway, what was I saying? I don't even remember because I stopped because you were playing with the dog and not listening.
I'm talking about just being snippy and how it's been tough because one of us has always been able to pick the other one up. But
Okay. So I feel like this is a very good opportunity for us. It's like a level up in whatever it is that we're dealing with because we're having to figure this out. We're having to figure out something new. We're having to like hold space for each other and also know that, you know, the other one can't really pick up the slack that we've been holding. Like we can't pick up. Like it's just not possible. Like we have to figure out our own way and we kind of like have to pull up our pants and like get it done, you know, like figure out that we're an adult and we need to figure out what we need to do instead of picking up the slack.
Yeah. And I think it's probably relatable for listeners too, because a lot of people are probably in this very situation where you're struggling to pick up all the slack of a partner who's not available, whether that's physically or emotionally, and you're having to do everything and you can't really share your stuff with them because they may not understand or have the EQ to really pick up on what you're getting at as you're having these kinds of conversations and you just feel alone and you're having to just grind it. I told Paige, like at this point, it feels like the last few reps of a workout or something like that. Like they're going to get done, but they are not going to be pretty.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to have to get through this the tough way. Sometimes you just have to just gut it out.
Yeah.
And that's sort of what it feels like.
Yeah, it does. But I like I said, I think that this is going to be a good opportunity, a good learning opportunity for both of us because it is different within our relationship. We haven't been here in a long time. I mean, obviously, when you were in active addiction and I was struggling, like I'm sure that this was very common within our relationship. But this is something that's new within the past 12 years at least, you know?
I don't remember ever a time in my life being this stressed out or worn out.
No,
through COVID it worked for sure, but this
is different. I don't know what it is. I mean, we're figuring it out obviously, but yeah, but I, like you said, I've been I've had a lot of emotions. I had a lot of anger yesterday, like legit anger. And I haven't had that in a long time. And it's hard to release that when you don't know
where it's
coming. Yes. Like where it's coming from. And I think it's just the overload. I think it's the overwhelming.
It's absolutely what it is.
It's just the overload and it's just my anger, and screaming doesn't help me because it actually raises my blood pressure, which makes it worse. It makes me feel worse. Like I get really lightheaded and I'm like, okay, I can't do that. Listening to angry music or whatnot doesn't really help me either. Like it does sometimes, but this time it wasn't. Things were not helping me. So I cried. I think that was a release for me.
Emotional windshield wipers.
Yes. Yeah. So I think that was it because I was losing my mind on people. I was just so short.
Yeah. So if you find yourself, listener, in a situation like this, where you feel like you can't finish a thought, you snap at people for seemingly benign reasons, you forget things as you're doing them, which has been, I think, both of us here lately. Like literally forgetting what I was talking about or why I walked in our room or any of those things. You feel numb, but also wired. You're overwhelmed by everyday tasks, stuff that normally doesn't faze you. You feel either emotionally flooded or just emotionally flat, like a zombie. There's a reason. These are not personality flaws.
No.
These are neurobiological responses to chronic stress. That's what's happening. That's what's happening to you. So when the nervous system is stuck in sympathetic overdrive, this is your fight or flight response.
We talk about this a lot in Paige's perspective.
Or it collapses into freeze, which is also an option there. It stops prioritizing some of the higher level executive function that you're used to be able to do, reason through thoughts or rationalize a really, really powerful emotion and sort of be able to bring yourself back down, or just focus or connect with other people or the world around you. These are the effects of stress. And this is very common for our listeners. I think we're approaching it from a different way, but it does feel like we are in the weeds with you guys right now. Relationship status aside, it feels like that. So I think it's going to be a relatable episode and helpful, because I think a lot of times we're talking about this stuff in hindsight. And in this one, we're talking about this in the moment that it's actually happening. And the last thing we've ever wanted, like, authenticity is our biggest, but most important value, I think. Mm-hmm. Never wanted people to feel like, oh, they just got it figured out and they're all good over there. Hell no, man. Struggle in different ways. Again, this is, it's great. This is life. This is what life does.
There will always, the bird will always shit.
Yeah. The bird didn't shit on my windshield. The bird just shit. And sometimes it feels like he's just aiming for you day in, day out,
Yeah.
So it feels like your body's in overdrive, but your mind is still buffering, sort of. And we're going to talk a little bit about the science. What does the science say about this? I was reading through a few articles and I read through a study as well. So the brain is the central organ of stress. This is where stress oftentimes originates. It's not always where it's felt. Actually, it's usually felt in other parts of your body, but it is where it originates. So the brain just doesn't respond to stress. It actually creates the stress response. It decides whether you're safe or you're in danger. It uses three major areas to do this. You have the amygdala, you have the prefrontal cortex, and you have the hippocampus. Think of your amygdala like your smoke alarm. This is how your body or your brain's telling you if there's an emergency or there's not. It senses danger. Whether that's real or perceived doesn't really matter. So for me, in a lot of ways, a lot of my danger is perceived danger, like truly. I think for you here lately, some of it's been like actual real danger. Like, do you want to talk about the bridge thing that came up where it feels truly like you're in danger and it's been really scary?
Sure. I'll go down that road.
Okay. Have heights ever bothered you in your entire life?
I mean, yes. Think about when we go hiking.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Heights
Think about when we go.
And that is not an uncommon fear or phobia to have whatsoever. It's scary.
Yes. So back in March, when it was spring break, I took our daughter to Charleston. And there is this really big bridge that goes from Charleston to the city that we were staying in, which I believe was Mount Pleasant. Does that sound right?
That is right.
Oh my gosh, I'm remembering things because I've been trying to figure this out the past 2 days and I've forgotten. Now I hit it.
Memory worked. It's coming back.
And so we rented a car. It was just the two of us. And I started driving over this bridge. And all of a sudden, my hands started sweating. My muscles started tensing. My limbs were starting to go numb at some point. And I'm like, I've felt this before. Like, my heart started racing. This is a very familiar feeling that I've had.
It's like the onset of panic.
Yes, exactly. So I was like, I'm about to have a panic attack. Like, I know that I'm going to have a panic attack. I know this feeling. And I'm like, but why? I'm going over a bridge. I've been over thousands of bridges. This is not anything. And I'm like, it's beautiful. There's nothing I should be scared of. But it was this feeling of we were going up and you can't see like the other side.
Oh, the crest of the bridge?
Yes. So you're going up and so it's elevated. And so you just see the sky. And for some reason that triggered something in my brain. And I had a panic attack while I was driving. And y'all, I haven't had panic attacks in 8 years. And I actually pride myself on that. I talk about this all the time. I can't not believe you're having me talk about this right now.
Does it feel sort of like...
Sorry, Winnie.
Told you the dog was jumping up on
and
people.
See, that just...
Sorry
and
that
right there just made me...
Tense up?
Yes.
This is the second time this dog has been kicked this week recording an episode.
On fire. Oh my God.
Winnie Beans weird.
Winnie, I'm sorry.
So
I'm sorry.
baby.
I was just moving my leg. Anyway, what were you going to say? I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry.
Well, first of all, I was going to say the thing with the bridge. I've had a recurring nightmare since I was a little kid that I'm driving on a huge high-rise bridge and it just ends.
Right.
And I plummet and then I wake up before I hit the ground.
Okay.
I had that dream like not even long ago at all.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, does it feel sort of like a failure of sorts or like a relapse of sorts?
Oh, yeah.
Do you kind of equate it to that?
Yeah. But I want to be clear about this. It's not like the bridge that scares me. It's not the heights that scare me. It's like the fear of being out of control and not being able to pull over or not being able to save myself if something happens. I'm like, guys, I'm not a neurotic.
No, not at all.
I'm really not.
Really, really rational about stuff.
I'm pretty rational about things. I'm able to really look at things from a rational perspective. And so this really weirded me out. And so when it happened, and like you said, I felt really angry at myself. Like I felt like I had this all figured out. I've had my anxiety under control for a while now. Why is it coming back? Why am I feeling out of control again? Why am I getting these weird physical sensations? Why am I completely losing my mind? And that hit me because I was just like, I'm a perfectionist. So yeah, it angered me. I felt like I was like, I've done the work. I've had the tools. Yeah.
And I mean, you're so good at being even able to walk others through that kind of stuff. Others through that sort of thing.
Absolutely.
I think at the point of the episode, it's stress. And I am absolutely convinced, you can't change my mind on this, that chronic stress is what led to this. Because never in our lives, since we've both been through, whether it's recovery or for you, it's been through recovery from panic disorder and the trauma of being with me when I was in active addiction, we've never had more on our plates than we do right now.
Yes.
And also the microscope of being exposed and having our lives out there.
Being
and
very vulnerable.
Sort of like being very vulnerable and like just very, like we have no secrets. Like there's no way I could ever pretend to be something else or someone else. Like it's out there, for everyone.
Right. But I've kept this a secret for a while.
And you kind of feel naked with that. And I think it's just a culmination of all this stuff and all these new responsibilities. And I think that it's this massive change we've kind of undergone.
I think so too. And I did have things like this. I remember whenever I first started having my panic attacks back in 2017, I believe it was. A lot of it happened while I was driving. Like it's a similar experience of what happened back then, except this is like brought on by stress and not brought on by the fact that I held stuff together for a long time. Like I'm just really overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Like extremely overwhelmed. And my coping mechanisms aren't really working.
But I think that, and thank you for talking about this because I wasn't sure if you were going to slap me when I brought it up or not. But I think it's so relatable because so many people feel like they've got it figured out. Mm-hmm. They feel like they've crossed the bridge to the happy side, and then something will happen and it draws you back to those old behaviors. Like we talked about Jill and Mitch's story just recently.
Yep.
And I'm sure that she felt very similar. Yep. I know a lot of people have these emotional lapses.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard of people in recovery, whether it was an actual like drug or alcohol relapse or a behavioral relapse where that's how I feel here lately. Almost like I'm having a behavioral relapse where I'm just so overwhelmed. And I haven't had any desire to use or put something in my body to stop the stress or the anxiety that I feel. But I told you today, I wish something would fall from space and put me in a coma for about a month so I could just gather my shit and
put me under a rock.
Yeah.
Like I just want to go under, that feeling where you just want to sleep forever and let the world just pass by and nobody needs you.
Yeah.
Nobody wants anything from you. You just want but it doesn't work that way. But I feel like we all get to that point and then it's temporary, right? It's not like it's not forever. And we know this is temporary as long as we make some changes.
Absolutely. And I do think that you don't give yourself enough credit for how well you have handled the massive amount of stuff that you have on your plate, as well as dealing with the emotions of, oh man, like I'm supposed to be the guru. I'm supposed to be we are still very educated on this stuff and we have great tools and we can help people, but it sucks feeling like, oh, damn it, man. I thought I was perfect and I'm not.
Well, honestly, no, I feel like a hypocrite, and you know how I feel, how I do. Like this is my perfectionist coming out and it's my all or nothing. Which I have been honest since the beginning that's something that I struggle with. And I've been struggling with it for like our entire healing process. It takes a long time to unlearn things.
Yeah.
It's not just about learning things. It's about unlearning things. And so I'm having to look at this as an experience of like, okay, I'm going to get through this. I'm unlearning some things still. And this is just going to be life. Like my brain has been wired with anxiety. Like once you have panic disorder, it's kind of hard to get rid of for the rest of your life.
It lingers in there. Those pathways are still
I don't
around.
take medication. Like I don't want to take medication unless I absolutely have to, for a tool or something like that. But I try to avoid it as much as possible. But I just know that I know that I'm going to have to get back into just like,
well, you're not giving yourself
once
again, you're not giving yourself enough credit. I have watched you really, really dedicate time to exercise. I have watched you put in the extra hours to make sure that the environment that you're in stays nice and clean, or at least comfortable, so you don't feel that environmental stress from laundry stacking up or whatever project you might have to do that day for work stacking up. I've seen you journaling. I've seen you taking care of yourself.
Kind of, but I feel like
no. There you go. Again, you're not giving yourself enough credit. But even
our kids have called me out.
Oh, kids,
like this whole week, they have called me out on like so much stuff. And like, I was like, oh my God. And I'm taking it to heart.
Two thoughts at once. It's valid when your children say things like this. It means that it is a signal that we are probably crossing over into an area where we ought to look at our behaviors, look at our environment, think about our stress. The other side of that coin, easy for them to say, okay? Easy for them to say. I was a kid once, and I used to shoot digs at my parents just to fucking get a rise out of them.
I know.
Because it was like, ooh, I'm going to get you. I'm going to play the hypocrite game. I'm going to play the whataboutisms. Over here saying something to me, guess what? It's easy listen, and it's our job to make sure that stuff doesn't happen to them. Don't get me wrong, but two thoughts at once here as well.
Yeah.
They're at the age now where they're going to start in with this kind of shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that also another problem with it is that I'm fighting it more than accepting it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like trying to change it.
Yep.
Trying to say like,
not allowing yourself to
not
feel
allowing myself. And I think that's why I got angry. I think that's why I finally cried, because I was at a point a couple weeks ago, I guess, or months ago, where I was just numb and I couldn't do anything. I didn't feel anything. I think there's stages to it. And then finally my body was like, oh, we're releasing it. And I think that that's why I'm towards the end of it. And now I'm talking about it more, which also helps as well.
Yeah.
But I fight my stuff all the time. Like I fight my feelings a lot. I really do. Like I know I tell people and I encourage people, feel the feels, but I always try to change them, I guess,
Right.
But I know better.
Yeah.
But it's like,
man.
It's like, you know what I'm talking about?
I'm just as guilty of this.
Yeah.
For a lot of people in my life, I'm like the person they will go to for advice and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think at some point you can almost convince yourself that you don't need anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And this last week, I just haven't shared what I've been feeling with anyone.
Yeah. Not even me.
I didn't hit my sponsor up, which I probably should have called him, man. Should have hit up Scott. I haven't talked about this with you. At work, the people that are there to support me, I haven't shared it with them because I feel like if I let them know that I'm struggling, then it scares them and I'm supposed to be the strong one.
Felt that.
And if I show weakness, quote unquote, which is a ridiculous way to put it, but if I show weakness, then it's going to scare them and they're going to lose faith in me, which is really about my ego more than it is anything. If you really think about it.
I don't want to talk about the ego talk. It really annoys me. I don't think it's just ego.
For me,
That's ridiculous.
I think it's about pride. It's pride. It's that's what it is for me. It's like pride. It's like I'm supposed to be the one with the answers. I'm not supposed to be the one struggling. And so I think it's hard for me to talk about this stuff whenever shit gets real tough. But it helps, man. It really does. It helps. But back to what's going on in the brain. I think this is overactive stress response in your amygdala. And that's what it is. It's fight or flight. It's that freeze panic feeling. This is your brain's smoke alarm saying danger, danger, danger. Perceived or not, it's just as real to the person who's experiencing it. And I went through, just as much of that this last week where stuff that shouldn't get under my skin is getting under my skin.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever I get really wrapped around the axle, I will literally be in my car having conversations with the scenario that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
That's how crazy I am.
That's not crazy. That's normal.
Everyone does this. Okay, I'm not alone on this. Good. All right.
Not at all.
They say that pain shared is pain halved. Well, we're sharing it with thousands. So maybe it'll just be a fraction of what it was when we're done with this. I can only hope. But you've also, so back to the parts of your brain that are really affected. We talked about the prefrontal cortex. This is like your brain's, it's like the CEO of your brain. This is the wise advisor. This is what helps you plan, focus, and regulate your responses. this gets overwhelmed as well. Your hippocampus.
Dude, mine's not working at all.
And then the hippocampus, which is like your brain's librarian. This is where all your memories are stored. It helps you organize your memories. It helps you distinguish between past and present. And all of these things are affected by chronic stress. So whether you're in a relationship, and we talk about this, and I hate to demean it to that point. It's not just about relationships. It's just about your life. And that's a component of your life. But it'd be silly to say that's the biggest problem you have. You also have, like everyone does, financial worries. You know, the economy is really sketchy right now, and it's scary. You know, you've got the parental guilt of feeling like you're not there enough for your kids and you're not as present as you should be. And I feel that day to day, man, like I'm not doing enough. And then you've got like the pride you take in yourself and taking care of yourself and your body and your mind and everything else. And then you've got your work and
you're exhausting
your home.
me.
Man, there's so much.
So much.
And so
life.
When stress becomes chronic, the system that normally helps you adapt, which is called allostasis, it's like homeostasis, but in the brain, becomes overloaded, and it's allostatic load. So when your brain body system is exhausted from being in survival mode for too long, these systems become overloaded. And so it's why people in chaotic relationships or very stressful situations, toxic homes, whatever it might be, feel like they're losing their minds. And it's not drama. This is literally biology. And so you're not alone, and it's not unnormal. It just sucks. It really, really sucks. I don't want to get too deep in the weeds here, but stress can literally restructure and rewire parts of your brain.
Like trauma, right?
Yeah, like trauma, like addiction, like a lot of other things. Chronic stress can actually rewire your brain. So your hippocampus actually shrinks. Remember, this is where your memories are. So if you're like me and you feel like you've lost a filing cabinet in your brain and you can't recall even simple things. Like we've been in episodes before and I've had a panic feeling like, I don't remember the word. And this has been here recently. Like, I don't remember what I was going to say. I don't remember where we were going with that. That happens to me more now in the last few months when I've been really worked up than it has probably ever in my life, it feels like. Walking into rooms, forgetting what I was doing.
There was something recently that you forgot. Oh, I think it was that you forgot that we were going on a trip or something.
I forgot we were leaving town.
Yeah, you forgot that, and you were like, I didn't want to tell you because I didn't want you to be mad at me for forgetting. Because I used to be like, how could you forget? How could you forget? How could you forget? And I am so sorry for that. Like, because I get it now. Like, whenever you're super stressed, I forget everything, and I would cut you so much slack if you were to forgotten, because I'm like, okay, I can barely keep up with what's going on tonight. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I get it. But I wanted to apologize for.
Man, I was embarrassed. Frankly, I was just flat embarrassed. Like, I just forgot. I flat forgot. But your executive function drops too. See? Your prefrontal cortex helps you make decisions, rationalize your responses and everything else. It's affected. Your amygdala becomes overreactive. So reactivity, fear, anger, these things happen more frequently. It's like your brain's internal smoke alarms going off every 5 minutes. This is like that triggering feeling. It's when we snap at our kids or snap at coworkers or fire off angry emails or attack people in comment sections online. It's just out of character. There's a reason, and it's biology. So stress hormones are at play here. We've all heard of cortisol, right? Cortisol gets blamed for a lot of stuff, actually.
Yeah.
Man,
sometimes I think it goes a little too far.
There are some smoozing ass influencers out there pushing all kinds of products, supplements, whatnot for people. Cortisol. Just do your research is all I'm going to say before you buy something off TikTok shop. But to put it simply, when you're stressed, your body releases hormones like cortisol, like glutamate. And then there's one called
glutamator. Let
me find it. It's glucocorticoids. It's a fun one to say. Glucocorticoids. Say it.
No, I was thinking about Joe Dirt and the last name Nudemaker. You said something that reminded me of that. I couldn't even remember what it was called.
Either way, when these hormones are at play, they do something called dendritic pruning. So these are like the synapses in your brain that make memories and make connections, quite literally get trimmed down. Like, you're dumber. I'll just put it that way. You're dumber. You have less function. You will feel dumber.
That's what's wrong with me.
I have felt dumb. in the last like
Me
month or two.
Me
It's
too.
nuts.
Like I can't even like answer simple questions.
But it's because your brain is reallocating resources, right? It senses danger. We are in overload mode. We don't have time to be eloquent right now. We have to focus on the task at hand, which is my heart rate is increased because I'm in fear for the next 48 hours or whatever bill is in the mail or whatever it might be. And it's just nonstop, man. What's up? You got something?
I'm just thinking like it's just from, I think we're overdoing things.
For sure. Yeah, we have fewer synapses available and we're overloading the ones that we do have. What's more, okay, but and this can't, okay, you can actually like long-term, like chronic stress can actually affect this stuff, like to the point where you will feel like this for quite some time. You might even be a little dumber for quite some time. But what we've talked about, the brain is an amazing thing and it can rewire itself and you can rewire it back the right way. But part of that is getting to safety, which we will touch on in just a moment.
Okay.
Is there anything else on the science of this that you're interested in and you want me to just move on?
No, just keep going.
Okay. Working memory. This is like RAM in a computer. You ever seen a RAM, random access memory?
Yes.
This is like your brain's short-term memory function where this is like when you walk into the room and you forget why you were in here. It's like how your brain can sort of temporarily store things and then recall it while you make decisions. This area of your brain is affected under acute stress. It impairs your ability to recall. Like this is the memory portion of it. I think that I've read about the effect, like postpartum mom brain.
Oh yeah, that's a thing.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And I think so. Some of this is at play. There's some other hormonal factors, but I think part of it's just being stressed F out too. Taking care of a young child is very stressful. It's a lot.
Well, yeah, and that's you're responsible for if it lives or
so
dies.
You find yourself forgetting names, conversations while you walked into a room. You can't organize or finish tasks. You just feel lost, feel completely lost. And part of that is because your working memory has been reduced. There are just fewer synapses available. The prefrontal cortex is struggling here. It is not getting the attention that it deserves because we're so focused on fight or flight.
You know, it'd be great.
What's up?
If I could go to a rehab for 30 days.
Oh, wouldn't it? Just to get your shit together again?
So that I could, work on myself and yeah, it must be nice.
So, hey, we differ here. This is interesting too. We were talking about stress. So when the world gets really stressful, you said that the world gets loud.
Yeah. Like I feel like my senses are heightened, all of them.
I feel numb.
Okay. So I go through that first, but then there's another
level.
Yeah.
I get irritated sometimes, usually pain induced, but like you said, like you're just, everything feels loud and
everything feels loud. Like just like what Winnie just did.
When she yelled. You kicked her.
I didn't mean to kick
Poor
her. That was a
baby.
complete accident. I'm so sorry. I know. But when she yelled, it was extremely loud to my ears.
Yeah.
And it was like jarring for me. You know, like I was just like, okay. The kids stuff. Like I get really like you were on your phone earlier listening to TikToks or something. And I'm like, it's just too loud. It's too much. I don't know if it's just sensory overload or what. But like my physical sensations do change. Like I can feel things a lot more. Like my hands get tingly when I'm super stressed. That's like part of, if you're going to have a panic attack, sometimes you can hyperventilate and there's no oxygen going to your hands. So you get tingles.
Yeah.
My head also does this weird, stretchy thing. Like it feels like there's a rubber,
I know what you mean.
There's like a headband that tightens.
Almost like it's numb kind of.
What it feels like, and it's weird, you wouldn't understand because you've never been pregnant, but whenever you have a contraction, your uterus completely tightens and it feels really weird. I feel like that's what happens in my scalp.
Oh.
It's odd. It's not a pain. It's just a very weird sensation that I get. Think about whenever my ear thing that I had back in the day. Okay. That was because of my jaw or whatever. I just feel things a lot more.
Do any of their other senses feel numb?
No.
No?
Mm-mm. My emotional sense is like, it's not really a sense, I guess, but my emotions would be numb before, but not now. Right now, everything's coming out because it's just, it can't hold in and it can't hold on any longer.
So there was this interesting study. They put mice, these poor mice, right? Mice are always getting the shit in the stick.
Oh, that's not nice.
Under chronic stress. And what they found was auditory input, so sound evoked activity in the cortex reduced. And this is how I feel. I feel like there is a layer of parchment paper that you can just, it's opaque between me and the world. People will be talking to me and it's like, I'm not hearing them. And part of it's like, I physically can't hear. And I think it's just because I can't focus because my brain is so overactive in other ways.
Yeah.
And I don't hear people. So you could be talking to me. I'll be looking right at you and I will not be hearing you. It's the weirdest feeling.
Okay. I know that
like
feeling.
that?
No. I do. I get that feeling. Typically it happens though whenever my brain is just completely I'm trying to survive. Like
That's literally what it is. Your brain
I'm
is
just focusing on surviving. So I'm focusing just on myself. And then I can't hear what's going on.
That is literally what's happening. Your brain is diverting attention away.
Okay.
On other areas.
Right. So that happens whenever I'm in panic mode for sure.
Okay.
So like if Sydney or something was talking to me or whatnot, I wouldn't be able to hear because I'm completely just focusing on trying to live.
Yeah. And it's like, it's your brain's way of turning down the volume of the world so it can focus on staying alive, so it can focus on survival. Remember, your brain's job is to keep you safe. You
know what's crazy though is that a lot of the things that we deal with these days are not life or death, the threats that we have.
Most of them, no, but I'm a catastrophizer in a lot of ways.
No, I know that, but I mean, just think about it. Like we have to retrain our brains to understand what's actual danger and what's not, because our bodies react the same. Like if a bear is coming after you or if you're getting a text message from somebody that you really don't want to talk to, it's the same experience.
Remember we had this discussion one time, I think late one night, we were talking about like, do we have it too easy these days in general?
Yes. What we've talked about that. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like have we reached a point where life has become so convenient that we've forgotten like what adversity was like 50 years ago, 60 years ago?
But we have too much on our plate now than what we had back in the day.
That's the catch-22 of like technology.
Life was actually simpler in a way because you didn't have all of this extra noise. You didn't have all the stuff that we do. I
didn't know what was happening in the Middle East like right now.
Right.
I'd have to wait for
you would only know what's going on within your tribe or your community. But like, think about all the stuff. Like people didn't have a million jobs to do. They had their one job that they had to do to take care of. Now we're like, people have multiple jobs. Everybody's involved in their child's lives. Travel sports, extracurricular activities, all that stuff we've added on. Hey, I like my extracurricular activity that I do with our kid. I thought you were looking at me.
No. I'm thinking about like that travel baseball group that I'm in with the parents and all that.
Yeah. So we've added more to our plates and I don't think our bodies know how to adjust to that.
I don't think we were meant to do all this shit.
No, I don't think we are either. And I've been trying to tell you that shit for years, but you don't listen to me.
What do you mean I'll listen to you? Of course I do. No, we weren't meant for all this.
No, we're not. And some of us are actually more sensitive to it than others. And that's where you and I differ. Like you can go. Are we going to talk about this in a minute?
Yeah. Okay. That was a perfect segue.
Are we going to go into it?
Go ahead. Okay. I'm going to get into the science of it. So
Matt is really good. Like he can go balls to the wall. He can do so much. He can handle stress way easier than I can like these days. You can keep going and going and going and going. I am able to recognize when I need to slow down because my stress levels are going up pretty quickly. And I'm like, okay, something needs to change. But I can't handle it very well, but I continue to keep going because I'm married to somebody who challenges me and I try to keep up with you. It's true. Like, think about it. We have different ways of stress. 100%. I'm an HSP and I think that has a lot to do with it too. Like I'm very sensitive to things.
Very sensitive, right?
But it's not a bad thing. It's like, okay, but I know when I'm going to burn out and I know that I need to do something about it. You just take a lot longer to get to that point. You get to that point, but it takes you a lot longer than me. And I usually just hang on for dear life until you get to that point.
And part of this is genetic. If you've ever wondered, I know I have, why do some people handle stress better than I do? I've always felt like I always felt like I missed a day of school where they passed out the syllabus where they told you, hey, this is the syllabus of life. And this is how you respond to stress. This is how you act in social settings. This is how you find friends. This is how you fit in. I feel like I was like the only kid that didn't get the memo. And there were those people and those people knew how to act right. And then there was me and people like me. And I've always just struggled. And it's insane because I'm hearing you say that you think I handle stress well. I think it's the opposite. I think you handle stress better than I do.
I guess it's not handle stress. I guess it also depends on what it is. I think it's like your burnout meter.
Oh, okay.
Yours is way...
It's like pain tolerance, you mean?
I guess so.
For
I guess
stress?
so. I guess your pain tolerance for stress. Yes. So I think I can handle. I don't know. I don't know. I just kind of like push through it and gut through it and just kind of deal with it until it catches up to me like it is right now. I think that my burnout meter is way smaller than yours. Like it just, I don't know. I can recognize the red flags before you can.
I see. Yeah. I'll never forget it. I used to do CrossFit a lot and I loved it. I love the competitive aspect of it between me and the clock. And now me and the clock do not have a good relationship. If I see a clock in a gym, I'm out.
Oh yeah.
I don't want anything to do with it anymore. I used to love it, but there was this workout where you had to do 100 thrusters for time. If you don't know what a thruster is, you take a barbell with, so 95 pounds is what you get. And you do a front squat, go all the way down, and then you stand, and then you squat it back up, and then you press it over your head.
Yeah.
And that's one rep. We had to do 100 thrusters for time. And for men, it was 95 pounds. And I think for women, it was 65 pounds or something. Maybe it was 135 for men. Whatever it was deceivingly
ridiculous.
heavy, where after about 15 or 20, you're like, uh-oh, it's going to be in trouble. I remember I got to the 99th rep, and my legs were shaking. And I went to stand up the 100th rep and my body failed.
Mm-hmm.
I could not move. I couldn't lift. My legs were blood red.
Okay.
And it took me like 2 or 3 minutes to recover enough to pick that back up and go. And that's in my mind, the limit that I take myself to when there's stress or anything else. Like
until you can not take it anymore.
Exactly. Until you fail, like completely shut down, which is probably not healthy.
I don't think it is. I feel like I would rather...
Yeah.
I'm really big on pushing through, getting out of your comfort zone and stuff. But I also feel like it's important for us to listen to the things that might be stressing us out and seeing what we need to do before it gets too bad.
That sounds way better.
Because honestly, I let it get too bad. I did. I allowed it to get too bad. If I would have listened to my gut the first time and actually made changes, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. I would have shifted. I would have not gone through my panic attacks. I wouldn't have been so overwhelmed.
More of a proactive approach to stress management.
Absolutely. Because that's how I roll. Like I can look at things, like I know when something needs to be changed, but for some reason I just keep pushing.
We didn't talk about that as far as our solutions, which we'll get to in the end, but we need to add that one. Take a proactive approach to stress management. I think hopefully it's a given in all this, but yeah, I think it's a really wise solution for all this too. But there are some people that are just wired and set up by their very nature to handle stress better than others. We have what are called CB1 receptors in our brain. It's part of your endocannabinoid system. Yes, like that cannabinoid, like the one that you hear about, cannabis. Yeah, we have receptors in our brain for this stuff. They help regulate how the brain responds to stress. They're found in the support cells of your brain. And so there are people who have more CB1 receptors and they show greater resilience to stress. Those with fewer, and that can be due to trauma, genetics, or your environment, may feel more reactive or fragile when it comes to stress. So what improves CB1 function? Things like exercise.
Okay.
Antidepressants have been shown to help here.
Okay.
We don't talk too much medicine on the show because we're not physicians. We're not therapists.
But I've heard that exercise is actually better than an antidepressant these days. So, but I don't know.
There's also novel positive stress. I think we've talked about ice baths.
Yeah. Or cold plunges. Because we've done it before.
But those things, or learning a new skill.
So doing something hard. Okay. But I've had a lot of exposure therapy for myself pretty much the past couple years
doing this.
Okay. Yeah. Yes. I have gotten out of my comfort zone a lot with a lot of things within TUFO and just in life in general. And that's supposed to be positive stuff, but I almost feel like I overdid it. So I don't know if maybe is it positive? Is it not? I don't know. Like, is it going to be helpful for me?
I think it'll be helpful for you. Like Huberman talked about how doing difficult things that we don't want to do help increase your willpower, and they're going to make you more productive in a lot of ways.
But what if it stresses you out?
Right. So like downstream, what's the other side of that, right? It's like Newton's law. For every action, there's an opposite reaction. So is it that your stress hormones increase? Is it that you have a reduced resilience to stress? Is it affecting your CB1 receptors to some degree? I'm not sure, but he talks about like the anterior midcingulate cortex, which is your AMCC, and it actually grows and it strengthens whenever we do things we don't want to do, and it literally makes it easier to do hard things. So I don't know. I'm sure that there's pros and cons, and I think for every time that you put something in this bucket, it maybe hurts another one somewhere else.
Yeah, but also I'm
not a brain scientist. I don't know.
And I also did read somewhere, like I do know that exposure therapy, if doing it too much, can actually put you in override like this.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I did it too much. Possible.
But what is for sure we do know is that some people's nervous systems have like a scaffolding that helps support them that you may not have, and this is just luck of the draw when it comes to genetics and heritability. And some other people had chaos as well. Some other people grew up in situations that were really difficult. Some people have been in really difficult relationships. They've battled chaos in a relationship, or they've battled addiction. So if stress hits you harder, what I'm trying to say, it doesn't mean that you're weaker. It does not. It just means your body's, a lot of times, it's been through more. We know that's true. So I want you to remember that. That doesn't mean that you're weaker by any means. Plus you're a highly sensitive person. HSP, which is that's the sixth sense. I think there is one that's like the EQ sense, which is it's a superpower, but it comes with the downside. And the downside is that it wears you out. Mm-hmm. All those mirror neurons and being overreactive, that takes a toll. I've talked to you, Dr. Taylor's talked about this with me as well. It's like you feel like you need to retreat to a dark room sometimes. Mm-hmm. And you feel weak because of it, like something's wrong with you. But this is just how the way some people are wired. There's nothing wrong with it. I think that what you mentioned earlier, taking a proactive approach to it can be really, really beneficial. So it would also say the long-term stress has been shown to contribute to cognitive disorders, things like increased inflammation, sleep disruption, hormonal imbalance, and you also have a higher risk of dementia, Alzheimer's, and other cognitive decline, early onset type stuff. That's true. Stress will do this to you. I really do feel some days like I'm losing my mind, and I feel like I'm going to lose my mind before I'm 50 or 60 years old, and I'm going to be a guy that's going to be like 50 first dates. That's going to be us before long, I feel like.
I think we're there.
But how can we reverse this damage? I think that's kind of where we're at now. Is what can we actually do about this? We've talked about, and I hope if anything from this episode, you just realize that you're not alone here. And there's actually stuff going on within your brain, but what can we actually do about it? I think that's where we go from here. And I loved your approach to like taking a proactive look at stress. And when you start to see those signals, don't be like me and just go harder. I think that there's a time and a place for that, but I don't think it's all the time, which is what I do. It's always everything. Doesn't matter what it is. I can handle it. I'll figure it out. I'll do it. I'll be better because of it. I just have like this Goggins approach to life in general. And I'm not him, I'm not a maniac. And I mean that in a respectful way.
And I love Goggins. I love his approach on some things, but I do think that it can go too far especially with people who have had trauma. Like it said, like people who have had trauma, it's not simple. Like we can't go hard like that. It just doesn't work. We're going to burn out quickly.
But you can rewire your brain through ritual. Rituals are safe. I was telling Paige about this today. Like I'm going to be leaving town and it's at a really tough time, end of quarter for work. And it's like, man, I need a routine to feel safe. When I'm out of my routine, I don't feel safe. It feels hectic to me. And I feel like that's a weakness that I should overcome, but I think it just is right now. Mm-hmm. So you can do some things to give your life some predictability, because predictability equals control. Control equals safety. That's what we're all really doing when we're trying to seek control. It helps us feel safe.
That's why we preach self-care constantly too, because it's something you can control.
Yeah. So if you have a routine,
and it rewires your brain.
It does reduce cortisol and these stress hormones. It's also good for you. It can also help release a lot of stress. So something like going to bed at the same time, waking up at the same time, eating familiar foods on a regular basis, hopefully healthy ones, and exercising. These things are really, really helpful for a routine, just to help you feel safe. So if you're in it right now, seek safety through routine. The comfort of routine cannot be understated enough or overstated enough. It's amazing. What's next? Sleep, right? Your favorite?
I love to sleep.
Prioritizing sleep's huge. Like treat sleep like it's medicine.
7 to 9 hours at least.
7 to 9 hours.
I know it depends on your age and stuff, but this is like uninterrupted sleep, which I know a lot of parents with younger ones don't get that. And that's another thing too, is that when people say to prioritize sleep, it's like, some of us can't.
Yeah.
But it will get better one day. And that's another reason why you might be stressed and overwhelmed as well. Is because you're not getting the sleep that you need. And that will totally mess up your coping, see, here we go. Your stress.
Yep.
But if you don't have littles, you can get some sleep and try to sleep more and keep it pretty routine.
Sleep's going to help you. If you've ever just been highly emotional, like I get like this, if I'm highly emotional and like really wrapped around the axle about something, living with a lot of fear, usually when I wake up, I feel better about it. Only the worst things do I not. If I wake up and I still feel horrible about something, I know it's like really serious. But a lot of times sleep can cure that kind of thing. Move daily. Move daily. We do know that movement boosts your CB1 receptors. Exercise, move. It improves your mood, lowers inflammation, and it doesn't have to be intense. Just do something rhythmic.
Nope. Go for a walk, dance, stretch, clean to some music, and just aim for consistency over intensity, which I think is great. Like 15 to 30 minutes, like start there. Just get something going. Start getting some movement in.
Yeah.
It will. And if you can get outside, get outside.
You can also seek social safety. So this is a great time to plug our community. We've got a free Facebook community for our listeners called Tufo Community, where you can get safe social interaction. Yeah, it's online, but it doesn't always have to be that way. We have wheelies who fly around the world and meet up with each other. We have some that are local and they'll just get coffee or they'll get lunch and they'll just catch up because safe people get it. It's really hard to talk
also
to just
calls.
Everyone else about this.
We've
got, and if you
I
can't,
don't know if you mentioned that, but
we got free community calls on there too. These happen several times a week. How many calls now are there?
We have one Monday, Tuesday, Independently Strong is on Wednesday, and then Thursday and Friday.
So
we have four free community calls. Yes.
And then Independently Strong, we've also got a course we built. You probably heard us talk about it.
It's a program.
Sorry, I got to get away from course. It's not a course, you're right? It's a program. It's a program. It's a way of life. If you've ever felt lost, it helps you reclaim yourself. It helps you find yourself again, find your identity, regain your agency. We built a course alongside a licensed therapist, and it's 10 modules long. Are you laughing? What did I do?
You said course.
I did it again. Can you take over? You're better at this anyway.
I will do this. I know. I didn't expect you to take over. I was going to do it. Yeah, no, we have a program that is built next to a licensed therapist. And we dig into a bunch of different things that you might be dealing with. I do talk about my panic attacks, actually, now that we've discussed this. Like I talk about it within the program and how I got through a lot of it. I probably need to take our program again. That might be a good idea, actually.
I mean, it never hurts to go back through it. Like,
I think it's great. No, it's really good. Info. Like every time I go through it and I look through it, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I love this. I think it's great. We talk about boundaries. We talk about healthy relationships. We help you have a relationship evaluation. We help you figure out what your values are. We have the self-care. I don't know if I talked about that yet. And the self-care module is very important, especially with what we're talking about right now with the stress. We actually break it down for you and help you touch on all the different categories of self-care, emotional, mental, social, spiritual, physical. I don't think I have environmental in there, but I would like to add that. I do need to make some changes within the program at some point.
A nesting module.
Somewhere soon. Nesting module.
Yeah.
What is that?
Your environment, like your nest.
Oh,
man.
not module. It's just a category.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And we just help you, gain your confidence back, help you trust your instincts and make decisions that align with your values. And it brings you clarity and you get to connect with a lot of people that are going through similar things. Like it's been pretty powerful for a lot of people to connect that are going through it. Because they have experience in areas that I necessarily don't, and they're able to actually discuss that and get tips and advice and like, hey, this is what I did here. This is what, maybe you could try this, or just being there to listen and feel validated. Our mission is to validate, educate, empower, and help you on your own recovery journey. But yeah, you can go to independentlystrong.com and get 75% off using the code Wheelies75.
Love it.
Did I miss anything? I'm sorry. That was a ramble.
No, that was perfect. Perfect. So yeah, if you're seeking some social safety, it's a good way to do it, to build your community out, to get around people who are safe. We mentioned pain shared is pain halved, right? It feels really good to be able to share pain and to borrow calm from other people. Feels really, really good to be able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Use a limiting input. This is where I suck the most. I'm bad at organizing. I do use my reminders. Like if you guys,
you're really good at that.
If you guys don't, like in your phone, if you've got an iPhone, I'm sure that Android's got something just like this. I just hold down the side button and I say, remind me to do XYZ at 8 p.m. or 7 a.m. the next morning, whatever it is. Any given day, I'm going to have 5 to 6 reminders in my phone. I have pawned off my brain's short-term memory, its random access memory, its running memory onto my phone. It cannot handle it right now. My brain just can't. And these help me quite a bit recall things. It makes me, there have been so many times I would have forgotten something really important, like being there for a kid's program or a lesson that they had and I had to take them to, if not for that.
Yeah.
Why'd you say it like that?
Because I'm eating my words here. I've typically been a go with the flow type of person, to where I'm just like, I don't want to make lists. I don't want to have reminders. I don't like color code everything or anything like that. I just kind of like, it's almost like a one day at a time type of situation that I do.
Why can't you do both?
Well, I'm learning that I need lists, and I need to like probably write out lists, just simple lists. It's like I need to do this today, like a to-do list. And that's what I need. I do use our calendar. We share that. That's been very, very helpful.
I live off that thing.
And then if I have a reminder where I need to remind myself of something, I text it to myself. So what I learned is that since I was a go with the flow type person, I probably just didn't have as much on my plate. So it was easier for me to do that. And now I'm like so overwhelmed with having so much to do that I really do need to be more organized in that area.
Yeah, with the chaos of life.
And I think that that's going to help me with the stress that I've had as well, is like really trying to find some type of structure or routine for myself, like waking up in the mornings at a decent time, not scrolling on my phone first, cleaning up my environment before I do anything else. And then getting to work, but not spending too much time on that stuff. Yeah. And then if I have time to get my exercise in, I can do that, which I need to like prioritize my self-care. Right. But I think that that's what's really been kind of throwing me off, is that I haven't had much structure or routine for myself. And
yeah, it requires flexibility and it requires regiment as well. It's tough.
So I think
it's not all or nothing.
And right. And that's the thing, is that it's not rigid. Like I will have a structure or routine that doesn't have to necessarily be exactly what I sell it to be.
Yeah, like you may not get 6 workouts in.
Right. I might not get into it. Right. But I'll at least do what I need. I know I need to prioritize. I at least need to get my priorities done.
Right.
And then not beat myself up if I don't get something done.
Yeah. But those checklists and things like that help offload mental clutter that like I just don't have the capacity for right now.
Right now, though, I don't have the capacity to really make a to-do list. Like I was packing I was packing my bag today, and I was about to pack my bag, and I was like, I don't even have the mental capacity to think about what I need to pack. I don't even want to think about that. I don't want to think. I don't want to think. Can I just? No, I know. I'm like, can we just go shopping? But even then, that's too much to add to my plate, because I'm going to be so busy this week with what we're doing. Yeah. By the way, this is coming out while we're out of town, so we'll probably be in a completely different headspace
when this comes out. I'll be wearing Walmart flip-flops, Walmart underwear, Walmart shorts.
So that's what you're doing. You decided that you're going to pack a small bag. There's a washer and dryer there if you need to do that, and you'll figure it out, and that's fine. I can't do that right now. I don't have time to do that. You can. I will not. So I actually have to think, and I don't want to think. Like, I don't want to think. I literally want to sit. I've been watching that Netflix show, that documentary. Like when I get like this, Over the Titan. Yeah, it's really interesting.
Y'all haven't seen the story about the submarine that exploded Imploded, actually.
Imploded, yes.
It's wild.
Yeah. There's one on
Wild.
Netflix and then there's one on Discover. And I already watched the Netflix one. I'm watching the Discover one. But there are days where I'm just like, I just want to binge watch and I want to numb and I don't want to think and I don't want anyone to bother me and I just don't want to do anything. And that sucks. I can't do that. That's not like...
Even when I do that, I beat my own ass that I did that instead of being productive. Even
I do
though
it on
productivity kills me.
Sundays. Sundays are like my day to do that. But then I have the Sunday scaries or whatever when you're thinking about the week that's coming. It's like it's never ending, guys. Like life is never ending. This is life.
Yeah.
But we have to figure out a way to fucking manage it or I'm going to lose my mind and you're going to want to divorce me.
No,
and
man.
our kids are going to be like,
your kids will divorce
Mom?
you before I will.
Oh yeah, they're already like, Mom. And I'm like, this is not me. Guys, this is not who I am. Like I've done this. I've already
It's a new level of it. And
I think that's a good way to put it. It's a new level of it. It's a new opportunity to learn more things and to actually like get my ass into gear and figure out what it is I need to do to make sure that I don't lose my shit.
You've also actually, and you haven't mentioned this, but I've seen you journaling here in the last couple months.
I haven't journaled in like the last week or two.
But in the last few months, pedantic, but yes. Offloading mental clutter, journaling can help too. Talking to someone else.
Journaling
But also, if it does anything at all, it limits input, right? So like TikTok, especially if your algorithm is like world news, man, try searching some cat videos or something.
Or just get off.
Just get off of it totally.
Everyone knows that I go on social media breaks. I've been open about that. And I will go off and I'm not going to talk for a while. Like I'm going to go do this for a while. Like, and I need that. We're consuming too much information and our brains cannot take it. And we're on every platform. We have all those stuff, we have to think about content to put out there, which is a lot. So we have to think about content to put out there. And then we have to think about content to record. I have to do it twice a week. And then calls to topics because I have to come up with topics. So think about that. That's just a lot of mental.
If you're a social media manager out there who can read minds, hit us up. info@twofocouple.com. You'd be really useful.
Who can read minds?
Yeah, that's the number one job requirement. You have to be able to read my mind because I don't. You can't ask me what needs to be posted because I don't know. That's too much. I can't handle that. That's
what I'm trying to tell you. I'm like, I don't have it. I don't have the mental capacity to think of things.
It sucks. I know.
Like, I'm glad that you came up with this topic. Like, I've been coming up with topics for the past few months.
Yeah, you've been
like, it's been what, and I'm like, I can't. I'm sorry. I don't know.
I was so overloaded. And I wanted to come up with something like trust theme and all this other stuff we've had here recently, but I was like, the only thing that I can think of is
what we're going
through right at this moment. Yeah. And this has got to be relatable for somebody.
I hope it helps somebody. I hope it at least helps you feel like you're not alone. Yeah. But we might lose some people because then they're like, oh my God, these people are crazy.
No, man. If you drop us because we're supposed to be perfect at everything,
human.
Unfollow, unsubscribe now. That wasn't ever the point.
Yeah, I know. I know. It's me and my
But I think you also have to shift the narrative. And this is maybe a message not just for listeners, but maybe for the person sitting right next to me, that you're not bad at life, that you're doing life right now with a very fried system. And this is not only because of everything we have going on, but everything that we've been through as well. It's all part of it.
So,
and start talking to yourself like someone you're responsible for caring for. How would you talk to a friend that was going through it,
I recorded my Page's perspective before this. That's going to be released after this. And it came at perfect timing. And I didn't know that we were going to do this. But it was actually something that I needed to hear myself about it. And that's a lot of things that I do. I'm like, I need to hear this myself. I think that's important. But it's really just letting everyone know that you're going to be okay. And this is all temporary and we don't have to have it all figured out. And we all relapse on I don't even want to call it a relapse. I think that's a little crazy. I think that this is just life in general. It's just
the ebbs and flows of life.
It's just a different layer. But
comes in, comes out.
If you're feeling a lot of the feels that we're feeling, then this next Page's perspective that's going to come out after this is going to be for you. It's very short. Like, I think I kept it under 10 minutes. So, but it's a very good pick me up for you, because it honestly, for me, like it was very therapeutic to put together because it's something that I needed specifically.
And if we have any experience in our lives, I've said this before, is that we have survived 100% of our hardest days.
I say that in my...
And because we are here right now listening to this and talking about this, and the fog will lift.
Mm-hmm.
There will be brighter days ahead.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get through this together. We're not doing great right now. We're just doing real right now with you guys. And that's just the reality of life. Everyone, even people you think haven't figured out, don't. Life happens. Life happens to everyone. Is why don't follow influencers, by the way, because that shit is fake.
Absolutely true. And you know, like Chris Williamson, I love him for his authenticity and his openness.
Talks about his struggles and everything.
He talks about his struggles, and I'm like, oh my God, like you're my people. Like I love that you know that you don't have it together. And I've always felt vulnerable with things that I share, you know, but then I also have that other side of me where I'm like, oh my gosh, I should know better. I know things. But what I love about Chris Williamson is that he does this it's his newsletter every week. I believe you subscribe to it, and I see it sometimes. It's like what I've learned.
Yeah. This week I learned something.
This week I learned something, and here's what's new, and here's what I've learned. And I just love that, because it's like, you don't have it all together, and you're human, and I can feel like I can connect to you more based on that.
Yeah. If we've made any error in this show at all, it's too much education, because if we're providing education, that means that we're teachers, but we're students. We're just students.
But I think that's with everybody.
Who maybe have taken the course twice because we failed it the first time. We just know a little more. Like we're that kid in class. It's like we got held back in third grade. That's how I think of myself.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think
we're
that
not experts in the sense that we're perfect. Not at all.
But I don't think anybody is
learning with us in a lot of ways. We're just sharing things we've learned, but we're still learning. We will forever be students of life. We all are.
I remember I had talked to my therapist about some things, and I was like, you know, I have a problem with practicing what I preach. And she's like, me too. Like, this is like, you know, this is what we do. We can sit here and we can tell you things all day long. But sometimes it's hard for you to take your own advice. And I think we all struggle with that. I think we all do that. I think it's just human nature. I don't remember what I was going with that.
There goes that stress. Prefrontal cortex just said good night.
I'm telling you, like, it is wild. This is wild.
That thing just walked off in the middle of a sentence.
You know what's going to happen though? And I'm going to warn you about this, and you're going to probably be like, oh my God, get your shit together. But I'm going to sleep a lot once my body gets out of this.
We got a road trip tomorrow. You can sleep.
I don't think it's going to happen until the kids go to camp.
Okay.
I've got too much.
For a month.
There's too much going on. But it's very similar to like the cocoon phase and stuff like that we've discussed.
Yep.
Is that sometimes you get to this point, like my body's going to shut down for a couple of days.
Just going to cocoon for a little bit.
I know it will. I know it will.
Amazing butterfly.
It will. And you know what? I'm not going to beat myself up over it, because I know that it's going to come. I know it will, because I've been so stressed.
If there were,
you're going to do it too. You just don't know it.
There were a contest for someone that cannot enjoy and relax, like when they have time off, I would win that contest.
Mm-hmm.
If there were a contest for who can be the most critical toward themselves, I think you would win that contest.
100%.
And then these people get married somehow. I don't know how that happens, but here we are.
We are so different.
Yeah,
it is
really
weird.
But I would love if you were kind to yourself and gave yourself a little more credit through this.
You would love if I was kinder to you as well, and the children.
I'm not even thinking about that. Be nice to the kids. You don't care about me. Just be nice to the kids, man. And the dog.
I didn't mean to
been kicked twice.
The dog.
Sweet, bro.
Babe,
Kicking my dog over here.
I didn't mean to, and you know it.
She's okay.
I'm still her human. Don't even.
Anyway, I just want you guys to know that we're in it with you. We're not always just your guides through it. We're like with you in this thing as we navigate life in different stages of life, but it never really stops. The learning never really stops. The lessons or the opportunities to learn difficult lessons never stop. Life will find a new way to throw something at you. And as difficult as things can feel right now, the fog will lift and it will get better. We will all get through this, and we will do it with you together. We're going through it too. I hope this is relatable. Try to be as open and vulnerable as possible. We are not perfect by any means. We're human. We're fallible. We make mistakes and we learn from them and we move on. And that's what makes us awesome, not the fact that we don't make mistakes at all. So I hope this was helpful for you guys. I know it was for us. If anything, you've just gotten an inside look at our therapy session together.
Yay.
And it was a fun way to spend an hour and 20 minutes now.
Yeah, how long is it? I don't even know.
Hour 15 or so. After Freights cuts it, it's probably cheaper. See, brain ain't working. It's probably less than that. But until next time, I am Matt.
I'm Paige.
And we'll see you.
Bye.